Love and lust, two powerful emotions that often get confused. But did you know that nearly 40% of people in relationships say they felt a deep attraction to someone else, only to realize it was more about lust than love? Crazy, right? Lust can feel intense and exciting, but love? That's the real deal when it comes to long-lasting happiness. Here's something even more shocking. Research shows that nearly half of all couples who start with a passionate, lust-filled connection struggle to turn that spark into a lasting bond. So, how can you tell the difference? And why does it matter? In this video, we're going to break down the key differences between lust and love. We'll show you why lust fades, but love can grow into something deeper. By the end, you'll have the tools to spot when your relationship is built on excitement, or when it's based on true connection. Ready to discover how to tell the difference? Keep watching. Chapter 1: The Spark versus the Flame. Lust is like a spark, instant, powerful, and hard to ignore. It hits you fast, like a lightning bolt, making your heart race and your thoughts focus on one person. But that intense energy doesn't always last. Lust often burns out quickly, leaving you wanting more, but not knowing exactly what you're missing. On the other hand, love is like a flame. It doesn't always come with the same rush, but it steadily grows, bringing warmth, light, and comfort. Psychologist Dr. Helen Fisher explains that lust is driven by dopamine, the feel-good chemical, which spikes when we experience attraction. But love? It's powered by a mix of oxytocin and serotonin, chemicals that build trust and help us form lasting bonds. A study published in Psychology Today found that 40% of people who experience instant attraction end up realizing it was more about lust than love after some time. One of the first signs of lust is the rush of excitement when you see that person, almost like you're high on energy. Love, however, isn't a quick burst. It's built over time with shared experiences, deep conversations, and mutual respect. The early stages of lust can be thrilling, but without the foundation of love, it's often short-lived. Love, however, doesn't come in a hurry. It's the long-lasting connection, the trust built over time. To move from lust to love, you need to take the time to really get to know the person. Start by investing emotionally, don't just rely on the thrill of the physical connection. A study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that couples who spend time on shared activities are more likely to develop deep emotional bonds over time. The next time you feel that initial spark, remind yourself, lust is exciting, but love requires patience and care. If you're not sure which one you're feeling, ask yourself, is this connection deep enough to last? A spark might be fun, but only a flame keeps you warm through the years. Chapter 2: The Chemistry of Lust versus the Alchemy of Love. Let's take a deeper look at the chemistry that powers our emotions. Lust is like a chemical cocktail of dopamine and adrenaline. It creates that rush of desire, the feeling of being in love without the deep connection. This is why lust can feel so intense and all-consuming. It's a primal urge. But love? It's a far more complex reaction involving chemicals like oxytocin, serotonin, and vasopressin. These aren't just for feel-good moments, they help us bond with others and stay committed long-term. In a study by the National Institute of Health, researchers found that lust is more about immediate gratification, while love helps build long-term emotional and physical attachment. In simple terms, lust is a quick high, but love keeps you grounded, making you feel secure in a relationship. Here's the interesting part: lust can happen with almost anyone. It's driven by physical attraction, and it's usually more about you, how you feel in the moment. Love, however, is about them, how you connect, support, and care for one another. When you're in love, you'll notice small things, how they laugh, how they think, and how you can grow together. Lust can be superficial. It might make you want to jump into bed, but it doesn't necessarily mean you want to spend your life with that person. Love, on the other hand, has a layer of depth that goes far beyond physical appearance. A fascinating fact: a study by Dr. Fisher found that love is more linked to a sense of shared purpose and mutual respect than to physical attraction. To move from lust to love, focus on understanding the person beyond their appearance. Share your thoughts and listen carefully to theirs. Build your emotional connection, not just physical desire. This way, your bond becomes strong and lasting, not just a passing attraction. Chapter 3: Hunger versus nurture. The difference in desire. Think of lust as hunger and love as nurture. Lust is a quick, urgent craving that demands satisfaction now. It's driven by physical desire, like an intense need to eat when you're hungry. Love, on the other hand, is like the nurturing care we give to someone we care about. It's slower, deeper, and more thoughtful. The problem with lust is that it can sometimes mask what we really need. Lust might feel great, but if it's the only thing driving a relationship, it can leave you empty. Love is different. It nurtures, it heals, and it strengthens. Research by the American Psychological Association shows that nurturing behaviors in relationships, like sharing experiences, offering support, and understanding each other, lead to longer-lasting and more satisfying partnerships. In relationships based on lust, you might find yourself focusing on satisfying your own needs. In a relationship built on love, the focus shifts. You nurture each other, supporting one another through life's challenges. When you're driven by love, you ask, how can I make this person's life better? Rather than, what can I get from them? A key strategy to moving from lust to love is to shift from focusing on immediate desires to thinking long-term. Consider what you both want in life, not just what you want from the relationship. Communicate openly, and work on fostering emotional connection. Love grows when you nurture it, like a garden. At first, it might just be a small seed, but with time, care, and patience, it blooms into something strong and beautiful. Lust is like the sugar rush, sweet and fast, but it fades quickly. Nurture love, and you'll see it grow into something that lasts. If you're enjoying these insights, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips on love, relationships, and happiness. Stay with us, because we're just getting started. Chapter 4, Lust, the roller coaster. Love, the roller skate. Lust is like a roller coaster, thrilling but unpredictable. It takes you on a ride full of highs and lows, spinning you around with excitement and intensity. But eventually, the thrill dies down, and you're left looking for the next high. On the other hand, love is more like roller skating, steady, smooth, and long-lasting. It's not about wild twists and turns but about enjoying the journey together with balance and stability. In relationships driven by lust, the emotions are often extreme. One moment you feel on top of the world, and the next, you're unsure where things stand. Love, however, is built on consistency. According to Dr. John Gottman, a relationship expert, long-term love thrives on trust, respect, and regular communication. Love doesn't need constant excitement because it's grounded in a deep connection. A study by the University of California found that couples who experience high levels of emotional stability and communication are more likely to have lasting relationships. In contrast, couples who are driven solely by lust may not communicate their needs or long-term desires as clearly. Without clear communication, relationships often hit rocky ground. The key here is understanding that excitement isn't the same as a fulfilling relationship. If you're feeling swept away by emotions that change with the wind, it's worth taking a step back and asking yourself if that's truly love. The goal should be stability, not chaos. If you're in a relationship where the highs feel extreme and the lows are difficult to handle, it may be more about lust than love. Moving from lust to love requires patience. Take time to enjoy the steady rhythm of building trust and respect. Just like roller skating, love is about keeping your balance and moving forward at a pace that feels natural and comfortable. Enjoying the content so far? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. You're on the right track to building a lasting relationship. Chapter 5, The Ego versus the Heart. Lust versus love in action. Lust is driven by the ego. It's about what you want in the moment, satisfying your desires and feeding your sense of attraction. Love, however, is led by the heart. It's about caring for another person, understanding their needs, and working together for the greater good of the relationship. Lust is self-centered, love is selfless. Psychologist Dr. Esther Perel, in her book Mating in Captivity, explains that lust is rooted in the need for affirmation, while love involves deep emotional attachment. Lust often serves to boost the ego, making you feel wanted or desired. Love, on the other hand, is about wanting the best for the other person, not just satisfying your own needs. When lust takes the front seat, relationships can quickly turn toxic. One partner may become overly focused on their own pleasure, while the other feels neglected or objectified. In contrast, love fosters collaboration, mutual respect, and emotional support. It's not about getting what you want, but giving what your partner needs. Research from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships shows that relationships based on mutual care and understanding are much more likely to thrive than those driven by physical attraction alone. Partners who communicate openly, share their vulnerabilities, and care about each other's emotional well-being are building a strong foundation for love. To shift from lust to love, focus on the emotional aspects of your connection. Start by listening to your partner's needs, instead of focusing on how they make you feel in the moment. Show appreciation for who they are, rather than just what they can do for you. Love comes from the heart, not the ego. Chapter 6: The Exit Signs. When lust leaves and love stays. One of the biggest challenges in relationships is recognizing when lust fades and when love has the potential to last. Lust can make you feel like you're flying high, but eventually, that rush might disappear. So, what happens when the intense chemistry starts to fade? Is the relationship over, or is there a deeper connection waiting to be explored? Research shows that many relationships that begin with intense attraction face this challenge. According to a study from the Journal of Marriage and Family, couples who experience the honeymoon phase often struggle when that phase ends. The emotional highs of lust can be addicting, but real love is about lasting commitment and deeper emotional bonds. When lust fades, the real work of building a long-term relationship begins. Love isn't about the thrill of first attraction, it's about creating something real and lasting. A key strategy to making this transition is to focus on shared goals and values. What are you both looking for in life? Do you want the same things? If so, love can evolve into something even deeper than the initial attraction. It's important to recognize when you're feeling the absence of lust and assess the emotional connection you have. Ask yourself, do I feel deeply connected to this person even without the rush? If the answer is yes, then love may be growing stronger beneath the surface. But if the relationship starts to feel like a routine or you find yourself questioning your commitment, it might be time to reevaluate. The exit signs aren't always a bad thing. In fact, they can signal the beginning of a more stable, loving relationship. Real love takes time to grow and requires effort from both partners. Focus on emotional intimacy, communication, and long-term connection. To nurture love after lust, shift your focus away from the physical chemistry and invest in deeper emotional understanding. Explore what you both truly want in life and create a partnership that's built on mutual growth. Love is about staying through the ups and downs, while lust can only carry you for so long. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips on building lasting relationships. See you next time.